What would be your greatest regret if this was your last year on earth, last year alive? There is no more time, and this was it. December 31 would be your sunset. I'm somebody who thinks a lot about my mortality. I don't get scared thinking about the fact that I'm going to die. It helps in life generally to just accept the things that we cannot change, the things that simply are and will always be. And death is just one of them. And I make a practice of trying to accept what is. So I think about my mortality all the time. It doesn't get me scared. In fact, it helps me to create a sense of urgency so that I'm doing the things that are important to do while I have the strength, the time, the breath, the life, the energy to do it. So I'm asking you again, what would be your biggest regret if this year was your last year alive? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Good Gas Mondays. It's our weekly video series to help you refill your tank, regain your focus, restore your joy, and ramp up your productivity. I'm Krystal Tomlinson. I'm a self-management strategist and a public speaking coach, and I live by the belief that with courage and discipline, we can create our destiny. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you the top 5 regrets we tend to have when we're about to die and how we can design our lives to reduce that feeling of regret and feel more fulfilled. So I don't know about you, but I don't want to get to my deathbed. I don't want to get to my last day on earth and the sentences coming out of my mouth are, I wish I had. I regret doing things this way. I would rather be talking about how fulfilling my life felt, how proud and pleased I am about how I use this precious and divine time with the people I love, with the talents I was blessed with, and how that was able to transform my little world or the great big world out there. So that's why I wanted to invite you into this conversation. It is going to be profound. It's going to invite you to think about the life you're living now. I want you to get ready to feel motivated though. Don't start thinking about how scary this topic is. Accept what is. We're all going to come to the last day of our lives at some point. And then let us seek to uncover what those regrets are that we might be earning with our daily disciplines. Because if you're earning the regret, it's like a harvest that is sure. And if that's not the harvest you want, well, what are we going to do differently to design our lives so that we feel more fulfilled at the end of our days? Yes? So grab the notepad, grab the journal, grab the scrap of paper, take up your phone if you're watching this on another device, and let's take some notes. Now, Bronnie Ware, she was an extraordinary Australian nurse, and she spent years in palliative care. She was taking care of patients in their final 12 weeks of life. And as she was having these conversations with them in their last 12 weeks, both men and women were her patients, she was coming to some powerful realizations and watching them come to those realizations in their last days. And she decided to document what they were sharing with her. And from her own documenting of those conversations, 5 top regrets emerged, again, across male and females as people were dying. So think now, as I'm sharing these with you, which of them sound like your current regret? Hopefully you don't have more than one, but if you do, all that means is we're identifying more room for you to grow and to improve. Now, the number one regret of dying was, I wish I had had the courage to live a life true to myself and not the life that others expected of me. Imagine that. Too often we get caught up in societal expectations about what our lives are supposed to look like, what a good decision means for us, what is worthy of us, what would make our parents proud, what would make our friends, family members, or network look good. And we make decisions to meet those expectations. It's time for us to decide to live authentically. And authentically means deciding for yourself what your dreams are supposed to be, because too many of us have dreams implanted in us. Without anybody seeking our permission, they embedded certain dreams in our psyche, told us what to do, lined us up on the path to get those things done, guilt trip us when it looks like we are disagreeing or we're not doing that thing that they want us to do. And so we learn to dishonor ourselves in order to honor our parents, honor our lineage and the way our family does things, honor our spouse, because some of us are getting into this space as adults. It's not always as children. And we're making these decisions, picking the dreams that people have for us, pretending that these are our dreams, and then dedicating precious, non-refundable, non-renewable, non-transferable time. And time is life energy. So we give our life energy to other people's dreams, other people's ambitions, chase their dreams.
with our time and abandon what would have honored our real talent and allowed us to feel fully expressed. The second most common regret is having wished that they had the courage to express their feelings. So suppressing our emotions is almost a natural part of our experience as we're building relationships with other people. We're trying to keep the peace. We're trying to be liked. We're trying to be accepted instead of ostracized. And so we settle for a mediocre existence where we're not truly saying what we want to say. We're not expressing ourselves at our highest and most authentic level. We're not being honest with the people who we say we love, who say they love us. And so it builds up resentment, it builds up bitterness. And of course, over time, it builds up regret when your life comes to an end. If we do not live true to our emotions, if we do not live true to our desires and what it would feel like to truly express our talent in this world, we get to the end of our lives with a lot of regret. So I'm going to pause here because I also want to share with you through this video the habits that we can begin to put into practice now so we can turn back or uncook this meal, this regret recipe that we're putting the wrong ingredients in, to just start over in the mixing bowl to make sure that we're not choosing things that lead us to regret at the end of our lives. So when we think about the goals and the ambitions that we're chasing, or that second regret about not fully expressing who we are, what we think, what we feel, what we really desire, in order to bring that into sharp focus and see if that is really where you are in your life right now, one of the things I recommend that you do is to have a Thrive plan. And what that is really a quarterly strategy to achieve your goals. Many of us may have heard already about vision boards. And I think vision boards are beautiful and powerful things. Many times we lay out our 1-year goals on the vision board, but I've known people to do 2-year, 3-year, 5-year, 10-year goals on their vision boards. Whichever you choose is fine. But inside the year that you are in, you must have a plan for each of those quarters. So the year broken down in pockets of 3 gives us 4 quarters. Each quarter, I encourage the coaching clients that I work with to have a Thrive plan. Looking at the goals that you're going to focus squarely on for the next 3 months, laying out the milestones across each of those 3 months so you know that you're on track and you're making progress and you're moving in the right direction. And of course, plugging in some daily habits to make sure you get there. But that first step is crafting the vision. What do you want to end this year with as your harvest, as your results, as your outcomes? What are the goals that you would be feeling very proud to accept as my win, the big life wins that you want to register? It's important for you to identify that for yourself. Make it a habit of starting the year with identifying your goals, with crafting a vision board. And then that vision board becomes the prompt to create your quarterly strategy or your Thrive plan. Having a VIP day that allows me to meet in 30-minute blocks with women who need help to craft that Thrive plan. So if that's something you're interested in, you can check my description below this video for the link. But even if you're not working with me, many times you purchase planners and the planner asks you for a quarterly goal and a quarterly strategy. Use that up. That is the reminder at the 3-month milestone to look at what you're working on in your life and decide if this is what you want to keep working on. And if these are not your goals, to admit that and reshape, reframe, and craft the goals that really feel authentic, powerful, and magnetic for you. So if those 2 fears or regrets sound like yours, that is a strategy that I know can help you to get sharply focused and consistent in pursuing your goals. The third on this list of 5 is I wish I hadn't worked so hard. Now, this one hits home for so many of us. I know for me, as a mother of a toddler, an entrepreneur, I am in a single parent home as her primary caregiver. There are days when I feel like I'm working too much. And my 4-year-old daughter will actually say to me, "You're working too much. Can you put your laptop down? I want to play with you." And she has become a prompt for me to make sure that I don't overwork myself and work my way out of her life and her childhood. So one of the things that I have confessed to myself is that if I'm not careful, I will overwork my life. I will work to the point where I don't have time to rest for self-care or for quality moments with my daughter. I don't want to get to the end of my life and feel like I failed as a parent because I worked so hard. And that's the relationship that this I wish I hadn't worked so hard regret has with other areas of our lives. We work too hard to rest. We work too hard to eat well. We work too hard to spend time with our families. We work too hard to connect with our friends. We work too hard to live our lives. Can you imagine? You work too hard to create a life that you never end up living. And then the fourth on the list, and I think there's a relationship again between the two of them. I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. Our friends are really our lifelines, and sometimes we let those golden connections slip away, maybe because we're working too hard. Don't wait until it is too late to rekindle the bonds that matter to you. Prioritize the people who matter most in your life. Don't work your way out of their lives and rob yourself of the joy and fulfillment that comes with quality time with your spouse, quality time with your children, quality time with your friends. So I think those two, again, are related. The strategy I would recommend here is something that I've been practicing for the last 5 years, and I do it every day. I call it good gas out. Yeah? Good gas out is really a decision that I make every single day to stop and send a positive, uplifting, encouraging, celebratory message, or just a check-in message to somebody in my network. It can be somebody that I have worked with professionally, a friend who is not really a close friend, but I have a positive relationship with them. It can also be for my very close and intimate relationships, right? So there's not a limit on which kind of relationship you can use this with, but I tend to use it with those who are not really in my close, tight-knit network or circle. This one is kind of the lazy one because it allows you to use WhatsApp to send a message, a text, a voice note, or something on Facebook. You see somebody's wedding photos come up, or they're graduating, or their children are celebrating a milestone. It's a prompt for you to send out some good gas. So I use social media as a tool to also look for the people in my network who I know, who I care about, who I want to express love to, and share with them good energy. Now, that doesn't always mean that I'm rekindling a friendship and we're going to meet up for coffee. But what it does is keep the door open. So when the opportunity comes up, I don't feel funny and weird, inviting them somewhere, sharing something with them, and they don't feel that way either because we have been in contact, even though it wasn't deep contact, right? So it's keeping that door open on the relationships that are positive, that are healthy, that are nourishing. And probably because of distance, we haven't been so close, but we still care about each other. The more deliberate one now, still on the good gas in spectrum, is an actual check-in. So I write down the name of at least one friend or family member that I'm going to deliberately check in on every single week. It could be a call. It could be physically meeting up with them for coffee. It could be lunch. It could be a beach day. It could be a play date with our children. But it's me deciding that this person, I need to be in their presence if we're in the same, time zone, geographic location, or to catch up in a meaningful way on their lives, knowing what is going on with them, seeing what they're working on that I can support, and sharing with them too so that they can do the same for me. So I can share my concerns. So I can, kind of empty out any emotional strain that I'm going through. So I can feel like I'm in community and not alone, because I don't want to get to the end of my life. And I wish that I had done more to nurture the relationships in my life. So good gas in, whether it is the very basic WhatsApp message or comment on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn, wherever, or a deep and deliberate check-in with somebody who's a close friend of mine who I want to really nurture and deepen connection and understanding with. Good gas out helps me to do that. And then the fifth most common regret is I wish I had let myself be happier. What does happiness look like for you? What would that look like for you? For me, happiness is feeling ease in my life. And I mean every area of my life. In my surroundings, I want things to feel that there's not a lot of friction between me and the thing. So let me give you a raw example. I want to know that I am financially stable. That creates ease for me, and that brings me a sense of happiness, because I know with strong, positive financial habits, I'm able to buy myself freedom, the freedom to spend more time with my child and not have to overwork, the freedom to do more things with my family members, with my friends, to travel, to see the world, to rest a little bit more. So that's one example. Another example for me is wellness. I want to feel ease when I'm getting dressed to go on the road. I don't want to have to be wiggling in and out of my clothes, feeling uncomfortable, pissing my teeth, cursing my body, my midsection, my thighs, my arms for not being the right size, the right weight, so I can fit into the clothes that I want. I don't want to have a fictitious experience every time I'm getting dressed. I want to feel confident in my clothes. When somebody says, let's take a picture, I don't want to have to see the photo before they walk away or share it. I want to feel comfortable in my body. What does that mean for me then? It means I have to be working out. It means I have to, in order to create the ease with my clothes and being caught in photographs and showing up in the world as myself and with confidence, I have to work out. So I feel proud of this body and feel comfortable in this vessel. And I have to also improve what goes on my plate. Another thing I have to do is rest. Because if I'm not well rested, I feel anxious, I feel overwhelmed, I feel impatient, and also rushed and hustled through the day. So I know what happiness is for me. And a big part of that is having more ease and less friction and stress to do the things that are essential throughout my day, feeling good in my body, feeling good in my mind. So positive self-talk is also a part of happiness for me. I need to have a good relationship with my inner voice and my inner child. So in order to improve that sense of happiness in my life, I have some habits. It's going to the gym 4 times a week. It's cutting out the rice and the flour from my diet so that when I eat, my body's nourished and not packing on the pounds and putting down calories to build fat. Yeah. It's also creating space in my day through a morning routine so I can ease myself in without the rush and the hassle. So I can do my gratitude journaling. So I can do my good gas out conversations and check-ins through WhatsApp or social media. You know, that first one, that easy one, which is not my big primary one about checking in. So I'm looking for ways to create a system and a routine in my day so that I'm not hustling through everything and then not getting to do the little things which add up to be big things in my relationships. And then, of course, the positive self-talk, which is my affirmations throughout the day, reading, empowering and inspiring content. And overall, what I call that are my wealthy habits. I'm not wealth as in W-E-A-L-T-H, wealth and money, but W-E-L-L-T-H, feeling well in my mind, feeling well in my body, feeling well in my spirit, and feeling well in my space. So decluttering is also one of the strategies I use. So you can consider what it would take to make you feel happier. Whatever that looks like for you, please remember that it is your job. You have the power. Nobody can take it away from you. You have the power to decide what happiness will look and feel like in your life. Don't try to match it up with what other people are doing. Don't think it has to be the relationship goals, the body goals that everybody else is pursuing. What is happiness for you? What would feeling wealthy look and feel like in your daily habits? You have the power to shape your destiny and to create a life that is free from regrets. So be intentional about that. Look if on the list of the 5 main regrets, anything is showing up for you or any things are showing up for you. And be decisive in turning things around, in changing the recipe and the ingredients that you're adding to your life so you don't come to the end full of regrets. Thank you so much for tuning in. And don't forget to subscribe, to comment below and let me know what resonates with you most in this video, and to share this with somebody who you see probably making decisions that they're likely to regret, who has shared with you that they're looking to feel more fulfilled in their lives. These life-changing insights can move them into a space of power. As little as the action is to share a link, you never know the impact it will have with somebody else. So continue to live your life to the fullest and to make every moment count. I know you've heard it said, it's not the years in your life that counts, but the life in your years. And we want to put some more life in the years before we run out of years in life. Yeah. Mark Zuckerberg said this, and I wanted to share it with you. The biggest risk is not taking any risk. In a world that's changing quickly, the only strategy that is guaranteed to fail is not taking risks. So what do you want to be doing? What is the idea that you have not been investing your time and energy in? What is the job that you would prefer to be doing that fills you up with pride and fulfillment and passion and purpose, but you haven't started making good decisions yet to lead you into that space? What is the risk you want to be taking around relationships, around parenting, around your financial health and wellness? What do you need to be doing differently so that you don't come to the end of your life overwhelmed by regret? Think that through, write it down, and see what habits need to be put in place so that each day you can be taking steps towards your fulfillment at the end of life and not a sense of regret. Thank you again for watching, and I'll catch you on another Monday for Good Gas Mondays. Remember to subscribe, to like, to comment, and of course, to share. And watch the ads. Yeah, the ads are coming up in the video. I'd be so grateful if you watch those ads as well. Take good care until we connect again right here on Good Gas Mondays.